So, Dave, I want to have a conversation with you by proxy. On this channel, I have definitely sacrificed popularity for honesty. Maybe it's because I've had a blessed life, not a perfect life, but a blessed life. I've had amazing friends. I've met amazing people. I've eaten the best food in the world. I can definitely say I have had the best food in the world. I've eaten everything I've ever wanted to eat and more. I've traveled to the most beautiful places, stayed at wonderful hotels, including my home country of Jamaica. So even though I've had my own trials and tribulations and, my own challenges in life, and I have many, and I'm sure I'm going to have many more, overall, I've had a blessed life and I'm not in need of anything, at least not currently. And when I say that, it doesn't mean to say that it will always be that way. Things can change in a heartbeat. Our luck can run out. My luck could run out. But, overall, I've had a blessed life. And on this channel, I have definitely sacrificed popularity for honesty. And that is the path that I choose to go on. I choose honesty over popularity because I think that will serve me better in the end. So I'll get to it, and I hope you can't hear people talking in the background because there are people talking in the background. So I had this in February. I made a video about Dave and his interview with Cindy and Ronnie Watts. And, he was promising big revelations. And I didn't feel that the revelations came. And I made a video about it. And I was kind of tongue-in-cheek. And during this time, Dave had a sub who had a falling out with Dave. And I actually have this on tape. I rewatched this falling out between Dave and one of his subs once again. And this sub subsequently, after having a dispute with Dave and falling out with Dave, found my channel, according to Cher. Cher found my channel and I began communicating with Cher. Cher seemed very nice. She was very complimentary. And I really enjoyed talking with Cher because she also gave me a lot of information and she had her own views on the Watts case. And it allowed me to, hear another person's perspective. And we have different opinions on the case. But, we have very different views. But one thing I did notice is that she always seemed to revert back to having, talking about Dave after having fallen out with Dave. And she seemed quite intent on drawing me into conversations where I would speak in a negative way about Dave. And she would often refer to the past videos that I've made about Dave. So I figured that she was steering me into these types of conversations because of her experience with Dave, and that, she wanted to talk to somebody about it and confide in somebody about it, and I understand that, because when you have a falling out with somebody, sometimes you want to kind of vent and speak to somebody. You even see that in the Watts case where Shanann isn't getting attention from Chris anymore, and she's she's texting her friend about how he's not paying any attention to her. Well, it's a similar situation. Well, not similar, but she wanted a place to vent, I think, after her falling out with Dave, and she came to me to do so, and I've got no problem with that. And I understand her feelings about Dave. But it was very obvious that she was trying to get me to say the things that she was saying about Dave, or saying things that she wanted me to say about Dave in terms of talking about him in a negative way. And that was fine. But I think she got frustrated eventually when she realized that I'm not, I've done my past videos on Dave. I've heavily criticized Dave, and I'm not past criticizing him now. And like I said, when he promised big revelations, and that he had this kind of breaking news or news to tell us. When I said that I didn't know, I still don't know what this big news is that he claimed that he had to tell all of us. I made a video about it, and I kind of was laughing and joking about it as well. I was being my usual funny self. But I don't think that was enough for her. I think that she came to my channel and she spoke to me because she wanted a place to release whatever she was feeling about Dave, and how he'd spoken to her on his live stream. And I think she eventually realized that I wasn't interested in just speaking negatively about Dave, that I'd done all that already. I didn't want to rewind back and just speak negatively about him all the time. Now, like I said, I'm not past criticizing Dave. I don't like the way I see him talking to people at times. Sometimes I think he's a little bit abrasive. However, there's only so much you can say. It's his show. It's he has his own way of running his live streams and his show, and he's free to do what he wants on his live streams. And if you have an issue with Dave, then that's your issue with Dave. It's not my issue. He's never spoken to me like that. And if he did, I think he knows what response he'd get. But anyway, I think she eventually got very frustrated with me because she wasn't able to pin me down into these conversations, into talking negatively about Dave. So recently, she left me a lovely comment that I pinned, and we had a conversation. Once again, she tried to steer the topic onto Dave, and, she was using certain words, and I think she wanted me to use those same words that she was using to describe Dave. And I thought we were having a nice conversation, and all of a sudden she deleted her comments and they disappeared. And I thought, well, that's that then. I'm not going to hear from her again. She's gotten frustrated with me. I thought I would never hear from her again. Then she comes back the next day or 2 days and says, she really means all the compliments that she gave me, and that she wasn't looking anything to gain out of my channel or with me. And I thought to myself, well, that's a bit interesting. That's a bit strange. If you meant all the things that you said, why would you delete your comments? Then she tried to steer me into a conversation where she claims that I said things that I never said to her. In fact, I had pinned a recent comment that she made. So when she tried to claim that I thought she was using my channel to basically vent about Dave, I thought that was absolutely, preposterous, because I had pinned a comment that she made and we'd recently had a lovely conversation. And so I asked her why she had deleted her comments, got no reply. What I got was these little messages from her and comments from her with insinuations. I know that she had written a letter or an email to Dave about Tiger, which is, I believe, is a mod of Dave's. And Dave didn't like that very much. Apparently, she said that Tiger was a shiner in one of these emails, or this particular email, and Dave didn't like that much. Dave didn't like it that much. And Tiger, Dave, and Cher got into some kind of dispute on the channel, and Dave said, you're the weakest link, goodbye, blah, blah, blah. And but he used no colourful language. He was just very honest and straight with her. But it seems to me that she's the type of person, and I could be wrong, because I've never accused her of coming to my channel and using me. In fact, I pinned a recent comment that she made, but it seems to me that she likes to go to channels and she likes to probably tell people what they should do with their channels. And Dave didn't take very kindly to it. And now I'm not taking very kindly to the fact that she's insinuating that I've said things to her that I didn't say. But I think basically what happened is she got frustrated because I wasn't saying the things about Dave that she wanted me to say. So during this time, Dave and her have met or, come into contact on my channel, and they've continued where they left off. and I've tried to keep myself out of it as much as possible. I think the problem with me, or the issue with me sometimes, is that I'm just far too nice, and I try to respond to as many comments as I possibly can. And, I engage people and I indulge people, and sometimes people feel that they can, take full advantage of all of that, of my kindness. And another thing problem with me as well is I probably get too close to people. And, after the initial mistakes that I made on YouTube, where I got too close to quite a few people, I got too close to at least 2 people. I realized it's probably best not to get too close to people. To be nice, yes, but not to get too close. Because when you get too close to people and you're too kind to them, if you don't do exactly what they want you to, or if you don't do what they expect you to do, or if they're not able to sway you or steer you into a certain direction, it can sometimes have consequences. And the consequences are that, this Cher, who was once quite nice, is now not saying such nice things about me, and saying that I'm on the fence when it comes to certain things, and, just all kinds of stuff that's not true. I mean, I've made it a point, like I said from the beginning, I've made it a point to be honest and to tell my truth, rather than chase popularity and chase quick acceptability. I've chosen a point. I made a point, and I've chosen the direction to take the long route round. My honesty and integrity is far more important than just putting popular opinions out there and growing like that. I've made a conscious effort to be as honest and transparent as I possibly can, and what I don't want to share, I don't share. Hence Cher. But this is not the first time something like this has happened. Something like this has happened before in the past. So it's not the first time something like this has happened. But I just wanted Dave to be aware of what was going on, and I guess there's always something to be. I guess when you're too kind, you're too nice, I guess people think that, they can really, really take you for what you are, just as that, rather than realizing that there's actually another side to you, and there's actually a person that they're speaking to, rather than somebody who's just like a robot that they can steer one way or the other. But I just wanted to let Dave know what was actually going on, because he has seen Cher on my channel before, and he's very aware that she comes here and talks about him. So, it'll be interesting to see what will happen as a result of me talking about this.